What's up, everybody? Welcome, Squad Squad, and welcome to Slav Guns at SHOT Show. I was about to say at the range, but we're now on day 3 for us. And I guess it's a little bit warmer. There's no wind, and we're not shooting in 30-mile-an-hour crosswinds. But related to shooting and precision rifles, I'm at one of the booths that you guys are most excited about. One that I'm really excited about, especially with the content we're planning for this year. KGM, and probably what I feel are the leaders in the suppressor space in terms of technology and quality products. Kyle, thank you very much for having me here again.
Man. Good to see you again.
And I guess, so this year there will be other products that we're covering, and I feel a lot of people are going to be learning about KGM for the very first time. So for those that haven't heard of KGM, tell us who KGM is and kind of how you got your start with it, and really kind of your focus, your beauty on what I think are some of the finest suppressors you can find.
I appreciate it, man. So we started as KGM, been around for over 10 years now, and got in the firearm space in 2015, something like that, but more as a precision rifle kind of brand. That's my background's all precision rifle, long range shooting, so titanium, super lightweight cans, but focusing on accuracy versus really a lot of other stuff. So that's really where we focus. We do a whole line from 22 all the way up to 50 BMG. We have some other products in the military law enforcement space as well, but really our focus is titanium precision products, but focusing around accuracy and flash. We got 5 pillars. Like we think about suppressing a lot differently than a lot of people. And then we've grown our OEM side of our business as well, so that has also grown along with our regular brand.
Okay. So your suppressors are generally, I mean, if you go to any suppressor resource websites, either forums or YouTube videos, the 2 comments that generally people are going to get. Number 1, quality made, the welds are like amazing. Number 2 is that, hey, I put on this can and now all of a sudden my gun shoots much more accurately. Yeah. And when we're kind of talking about, I guess, like in the suppressor world, I mean, there's kind of different variables that you can kind of target. So I guess either you're going for lightweight, the material, whether it's full auto, whether you want compensation or whatnot. So I guess, can you kind of highlight some of those things? And I guess, how would somebody know what they should look for in a suppressor, I guess?
It really depends on your end use case. So you're going to put it on a short barrel AR, you're going to put it on a long gun, or you're going to plink with a pistol. So it really depends your end use case. If you're looking for bolt guns, PRS has gotten really big in the last couple of years, NRL. So you got a lot of people looking at long range shooting, stuff like that. So accuracy, how and what it does to the weapon system. Does it increase recoil? Does it decrease recoil? What's your mounting system? You going direct thread, taper mount, QD, all that kind of stuff like that. So you really almost have to build a matrix of what you want to do with it to figure out features, because the market's so much bigger than it was 5 years ago. Yeah. There's a lot more options on, well, maybe I don't want a full auto can, or maybe I just want the lightest thing absolutely possible because I don't want to feel in the end of the gun. So you're starting to see a lot more stuff, and the consumers are becoming a lot more educated. So they're understanding you're going to trade length for sound, or you may trade, weight for durability. So the market space is becoming bigger, the consumer's becoming more educated, and the technology, honestly, is just getting better and better every year because more people are pushing the envelope.
So, I mean, I would definitely agree that the average consumer is getting a bit more educated. But I mean, really, they start asking the questions, hey, they're going to go to the dealer and they're like, NVC suppressors, like, yeah, I want the best suppressor. And it's like, well, I want the lightest, the quietest, in the shortest package, and I wanted to reduce that crap ton of recoil. Oh, yeah, my gun can't shoot, so I needed to be more accurate. Is that actually possible? Or what can you get?
Exist, yeah. That's one of those unicorn kind of things that doesn't really exist. Yeah. But it's one of those, again, you can trade a lot. You can get a can that's very lightweight, has good sound reduction, but is not full auto rated. Or you can trade, hey, I want a full auto can that's very small. You're not going to get the best sound reduction. So there is some trade-offs, caveats. Most of the time, it's the whole, there's 3 options you can pick 2. Yeah. Good, fast, cheap. So it's the same thing with cans. Is you're going to always have a trade-off here and there. There's never going to be one product that just is an end-all be-all. And if it did, you would be very, very wealthy because you sell a ton of them. But
so people have commented they love the educational aspect that you bring to the table. So here's 2 questions for you. And I guess number 1 is, the biggest one I think a lot of people are going to look for is the material. So you have aluminum, you have titanium, Inconel, stainless steel, all of that stuff. How, number 1, does it make a difference, I guess, in terms of, I mean, obviously I'm guessing in weight, but I guess in sound signature and reliability, I guess.
So you're on the reliability side, a titanium suppressor can be very, very reliable because it's a very good material. It's very expensive, very light, but it's also very strong. However, it has a more fixed use space where you cannot run that on a short barrel gun. You will you'll essentially erode the baffles out. On a bolt gun, a titanium can will last forever. I mean, you're never going to shoot it enough to really have any kind of detrimental harm. So on a tonal aspect, titanium cans sound a little differently than stainless. Some of that's to do with baffle, but a lot of it's to do with material. Titanium resonates at a different frequency. So if you shoot an exact titanium can versus a stainless can, they're going to sound different, even if they're exactly the same.
And I guess basically at that point, it really kind of becomes personal preference, what sound tone you want.
Do you want a lower tone? Do you want a higher tone? And then there's different baffle geometry that creates different tones. So I always recommend to people, go do a test drive. Go hear the can, find a buddy, find a shop, they'll let you shoot it, experience it, make sure it's what you think it is in your head, and then decide if, hey, this is right for what I want.
Okay. All right, number two, and then I'm going to sneak actually a third one in there afterwards. But the question is, so we have suppressors, companies come out with suppressors, they publish, hey, look, this is our noise reduction rating, but is it at the muzzle? Is it at the ear? Does it make a difference? What should somebody focus on? And I guess whether they're a hunter, precision rifle, or whatnot.
Honestly, and there's a lot of argument in the industry about this, we do all of our development at the shooter's ear, because at the end of the day, that's what truly matters. Now, you can play with muzzle numbers, you can play with all like that, but at the end of the day, if you position your mic at your shooter's head, that's what the shooter is going to experience, that's really the most important part. I mean, yeah, you could look at exposure level to other people around you, but at the end of the day, a suppressed gun is still going to be better than unsuppressed. So we really focus on shooter experience, shoot at the shooter's ear, especially on gas guns, because when you overdrive them, you get a louder port pop, stuff like that. So we always focus at shooter's ear, and we always focus on NSR, which is net sound reduction. Okay. So I can change my atmospherics and I can change my sound meter data 10 decibels. Either way, I can change the humidity, I can change the temperature, and I can fluctuate. So when you see meter data online, that's a snapshot in time of a certain environment, and that's it. So we always do it like, all right, well, what does it do unsuppressed and suppressed on that day with that gun, with that ammo? So NSR is, I think, a better way to portray it
Awesome. That definitely helps, and at least at the very least, it's going to get somebody to, I mean, it's kind of like statistics. It's like all data lies, and you can kind of make it tell you whatever you want to read into it.
However you want to skew it, you can make it.
You can definitely do it. But at least people are going to be aware of what's going on in there. Now, the final question on that side is, you see suppressors, and some of them are going to be quote unquote user serviceable, user cleanable. Some of them are not.
Yep.
Does it make a difference? And is it going to be based on caliber, or like even for, I guess, for center fire? Is that something somebody should be looking for, or when?
User serviceable, definitely on 22. Okay. Do not buy a sealed 22 can, because 22 is nasty. You got to be able to clean it. A lot of pistol cans, usually because pistol powder sometimes is a little more consistent. You really want to be able to clean a pistol can. Centerfire rifle cans, we don't build any of them. There are some companies that build essentially user serviceable rifle cans, but when you start rating in the really high calibers, 300 Norma, PRC, some of the big stuff, you start really getting where you're trusting a set of threads just for that, and it's just something that we've decided not to do. Yeah. Most centerfire rifle stuff, they don't get super dirty, just because you usually have full powder burn, and then it usually doesn't stick as bad in the can. And then you can essentially clean them by filling them with, a Vortex or Carbon Clean or any kind of solvent-based cleaner, and get a majority of the stuff out. But you really only want to I prefer use the serviceability on pistols and handguns because the pressure is a lot lower.
Yeah. Okay, so talk to us about if somebody wants the OG, they want a KGM made can, whatever options, and what's this little thing, because it's cool.
All right, so we build everything from 22 to 50 BMG. We've got 22 cans, we've got a 9mm subgun can, a lot of titanium, a lot of caliber specific, 6mm, 6.5 stuff. We do a 338 can as well. We focus a lot on titanium, but we also have some heavy use stuff, full auto. And then for this year is this new guy. So if people remember back from KGM days, I've always built integrals. I'm a big integral fan. It's so many things simplified. So we worked on essentially an integrally suppressed AR. And again, this is not, integrally suppressed ARs are not new. Yeah. But what we did was try to combine a lot of technology that we've learned on the suppressor side, but also what we learned on working on more law enforcement, military, gas gun projects, stuff like that, of how to make this thing work as a system, not as a suppressor added to a gun that was never designed.
Yeah, so basically something that's like built from the start rather than something added on, and especially when you don't have to worry about tax stamps and things like that.
It's a little bit easier to work with those guys, but so what we did is we essentially built, so this is 11.5-inch barrel. It is hearing safe, so we are under 140 on a pulse system at the shooter's ear, which on a DIAR is not easy to do. So full stainless and Inconel stacks, full auto rated. But what we could do is, because we design the barrel, we design the gas system, we can tune it for what we want to do based on our stack. So, you know, this, we can reduce the gas port size, we can change it so it shoots much softer. So this has half the recoil of a Mark 18 unsuppressed.
Wow.
So it shoots very, very light, very, very flat, very inline. It's hearing safe, it's single stamp, 16.7 inch overall. The gas block is pinned to the barrel, so it's a single stamp upper. It's a complete gun here, but we sell them as a complete.
So it's a complete upper. It's not just like a barrel with a can. Complete upper, ready.
Turnkey upper. It's a Ford 7075 upper to our spec. It's the Aero oversized handguard, and then we run the Aero Pro bolt carriers, which are the MPI inspected double stake carriers. It's a 11.5-inch button rifled barrel. Shoots sub MOA. So you put 62 grain, it'll shoot 0.8 at 100 with 77 grain. It's a very accurate little rifle, and it just has a turnkey setup. You pin it on a lower and go.
Awesome. And what's the price point? What's the availability on this guy?
So these are already in production. We've already shipped several hundred units already to pre-orders. They're $1,750 MSRP. Okay. So you can go to your dealer. Street price will probably be a little bit less than that. But so essentially, for close to what you can build or less to what you can build all this together, you're getting a completely done setup, one and done, pin it and go.
And basically the only other thing people would have to worry about would be the tax stamp and possibly a transfer fee for their dealer.
Correct. Yeah.
Very cool. So I guess either the dealer can carry them, or if your dealer doesn't have it, you can ask them to look this up and get in touch with KGM, or I guess, can somebody order directly from your website and you guys ship it, or?
Yeah. So you can order directly from the website, and we can ship it to a dealer, find a dealer, or we can help you find a dealer local, and we can ship it to them, and you can file your tax stamp there.
Awesome. So what's the name of this model, or like, was there?
R556i.
R556i from KGM, and hopefully, I mean, that was a ton of educational content in your quest to learn more about the suppressor world, and there's a lot of nuances in there, isn't it?
There are a lot.
And while we could be talking here for hours about all of this stuff, we're not going to monopolize more of his time, but I'm sure you guys will have questions, so leave them in a comment below. And if somebody wants to get in touch with you or find more information on your suppressors, where can they do that?
KGM Technology is on Instagram, kgm-tech.com. You can find us.
Awesome. So, as always, thank you guys for joining us. If you have questions, leave them in a comment below. As always, thank you for watching, keep on squatting, and we'll see you in the next video, linked up here. Awesome. Thank you, sir.